Hi everyone, it's Sandy. Thank you for joining me here on my channel, Septerra 18. I have a great project for you guys, and this is another easy project for you. If you like making pockets or your own envelopes, this is another great little project for you. And it's also, these pockets are really great too because you could add your some of your craft goodies inside, ephemeras, package goodies for Happy Mail. And what you can make are these window style envelopes, and I'll just show you the ones that I've made. And I did make these using the papers from Pink Paisley. It's the Horizon collection. It's a 6x8 paper pad. It's really a fun paper pad too. It's got lots of bright colors in here, great to make your projects. So I'll just show you the window envelopes, and you can make these in any size you like. And I'm also going to show you how you can make these without the scoreboard if you don't have a scoreboard. So you also will be able to make these so you don't miss out on making these really fun window envelopes. But these are the ones that I've made. So they look like this. So it looks like an envelope, and then you can open it up, and then there is this window part, and you can place your goodies in there, and it's just another way where you can still see inside the pocket. And really fun. And then this is another one, and then I've got inside here just a simple note card that I had embossed, and it's just also another great way to add your little note cards or messages. So that's that one. And I'm going to show you two different ways you can make your window envelopes as well. One with tracing paper if you don't have vellum, and one with another type of clear plastic that you are able to get anywhere to make these, and they're also inexpensive. But I'll just show you the rest of these first. So this one here is another one, and then I did place my paper fringe layered flower that I had shared with you in my last video. I just placed it on the top, and then I just used a Velcro as a closure for the envelope as well. So that was just another great way to finish off this envelope. Nice and easy. And this one here is a larger size, and I've got in here some more of those paper fringe, paper layered flowers that I had made. So I've just placed them in there. And then these ones I added a die, flower shaped die to the back to finish off the flowers. And they were just perfect to fit in there, and it's got a nice large opening as well. So it's a great way to add some goodies. And these ones here, I made these with the clear sheets of clear sheets, and I'll show you which ones that I used. But this is a smaller one, and I created a belly band as a closure for the envelope pocket, and then I've just placed in here some die cuts, and they're just really cute to fit in there. And it's just a cute little pocket, and I just embellished that in the front just with some hearts that I punched out with my heart punch. And then this is the belly band, and I made a smaller fringed envelope, fringed flower, and placed that on the middle there, and that was really cute. This is the larger size window envelope with the clear sheet, and then I also placed the same kind of fringe paper laid flower using the crepe paper. Place it on a tag, use some twine to use as a closure for the envelope, and also opens up like that, and that's the clear sheet. And then I've just got in here one of my little mini booklets that I have made using 6x6 paper. I'll put the tutorial for this video down below. It's a really easy little booklet to make. It's got a little front pocket. I did use some more tracing paper for the cover. There's a pocket on the top. I placed a couple of little envelopes for goodies, and then flips open again to another little vellum pocket and a side pocket. It's really cute, and that just fitted in here perfectly. So that was just another great little project if you want to send this as Happy Mail. So I'm going to show you how to make these. And I was inspired to make these envelopes from one of my other previous videos where I shared with you my paper patchwork pockets, which were these ones. So they are very similar. The only difference with these ones, I use scrap papers to create the closure for the pockets. You can see here sort of like that patchwork sort of look. Whereas this one here, I use a complete clear sheet as to cover the envelope. So that's the difference. But you can also just use normal paper if you don't want to use a clear window. So I just thought I'd share with you. And I'll also put the link to this video down below if you want to see how to make these. And these ones here, you've got an extra front pocket there as well to add some tags. So I'm going to show you how to make these, but I'm going to show you first the sheets in case you don't have any vellum, because I know sometimes vellum is hard to get hold of or they're a little bit expensive. And so this is the tracing paper that I had come across from one of my local discount shop, and this one here is a 90 GSM thickness, A4 size, which is a great thickness, which I'm quite happy to use in my project. So it's not too thin, it's not too thick, and easy to work with as well, and it still has that transparency through the tracing paper, and you get a whole heap. So that's what I used to create the window for these envelopes. And then for the clear sheets, which are these ones, you can get these clear sheets anywhere. Your kids, if you have kids that are still at school or at uni, you can use them, because all I did was use these A4 clear plastic sleeves that you place in your folder. And I got mine for, I think, a pack of 20 for $2 at Kmart here in Sydney, my local Kmart store. So you can find these anywhere. They're inexpensive, and you can make a whole heap of these window envelopes, and you can make them in any size you like as well. So that's what I use for these. So you can grab these anywhere you like. So I'm going to show you first how to make the one with the tracing paper, and I'll make one in this size, and then I'll make the other one in the clear sheet in this size, in case you wanted to make these sizes. But I'll give you the measurements for these, and then you can just work out the measurements that you want for your envelope size. So for this one here, you're going to want your vellum or tracing paper, and you want to cut that out. You want to cut out, I'll place it on here so you can see. So you want to cut your window size to whatever size you want. My one here that I've cut my sheet at 4 inches by 3 inches. So once you cut that out for your window, you want to then cut out your envelope cover. So what you want to do for that, whatever size your window is, your window sheet, for the sides you want to cut an extra, for your paper you want to cut extra 1/2 inch on each side. So if your length, my length is 4 inches, I'm going to add an extra 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. So that means I will cut my paper at 5 inches lengthways. And then for the height, my height of my window is 3 inches. You want to add an extra 2 inches for your paper. So that would mean my paper will be cut at 5 inches. So in that way, my paper here will be cut at 5 inches by 5 inches. For a window, that's going to be cut at 4 inches by 3 inches. And you'll see what I mean and why we're cutting it for that size. So whatever size your window is going to be, you want to cut half, you want to add an extra 1 inch for your paper. And then for the height, you want to add an extra 2 inch higher than the height of your window. So once you've got that, you're going to grab that paper, and we're going to mark and do some scoring. So on the part where it's the longer part of your window, so just so you can see, we're going to score it 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to score 1/2 inch on the left, 1/2 inch on my right side. And we're going to also score 1/2 inch at the bottom of your envelope. So you're going to turn your paper over, and I'm just going to go back 1/2 inch. So we've got that, so just so you can see. And then for the top part, we're going to just go over again this way. So you've got your bottom already scored. We're going to score at 3 3/4 inch. All right, so that's what you're going to have. So it's 1/2 inch on the two sides, 1/2 inch on the bottom, and then at the top part you want to score it about 3/4 inch across. That's your closure. And now we're going to cut some pieces out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out these 2 little squares that's on the bottom. So we're going to cut that up. We're going to cut that out. So we're just removing those 2 little squares. And then we're going to just angle cut them in. Sorry, okay, so you want it to do that, and I'll do the same to this side. So now you have your bottoms looking like that. And now for the top part, this is the part with for the closure of the envelope. We're going to cut out these 2 lines. So I'm just going to turn this upside down. So we're going to cut this, and then we're going to angle cut that out. And then the same to the other side. So that is the shape of your envelope backing. I'm going to turn it this way because I want that to be showing in the front. So we have that. We're going to now fold these 3 sides. So over here, you can decide if you want the bottom of your envelope with the bottom flap out facing like that, or you can have that on the inside and then having the sides going on top of it. So just decide how you'd like yours to look like. I'm going to have mine with the bottom facing up. So now we've got your vellum window. We're going to just cut out a little piece of one side, about 1/8 inch. We're just going to trim it down a little bit, and I'll explain why we do that. So when we place this inside, you want to place your window part just sitting inside the 3 score lines, the sides and the bottom. You want it just sitting inside. And that was the reason why we trimmed it, because when we close it up, you don't want the edge to catch onto the flap bit. So that's how it's going to look like. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to open these up and we're going to glue these 3 sides. You can use double-sided tape. If you're using double-sided tape, you want to place your double-sided tape from here first, which I'll just show you so you'll see what I mean. So I'll just use one side with double-sided tape. You want to sit it about just there, not right up to the top. So I'm just going to peel that off. So I'll use that for this side. And I'm just going to glue the rest. Again, if you hear some weird noises in the background, that's my little baby jester. He's snoring right beside me. Okay, so now you've got your glue or adhesive. We're going to just now place that window. Again, making sure it's just sitting inside, and that's going to have that score line at the top. You want to have that just sort of away from the edge. We're going to bring one side in and seal that off. Bring the other side in and seal that off. And then you're going to bring the front and then seal that off. So that creates your window pocket, and now we can cut around the corners if you like to do that. This is my We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder punch. It's got 3 different sizes. And then now you just simply fold that back. And that creates your little envelope, window envelope. So I just wanted to point that out again. The part where I said you add an extra 2 inches, you can add more. You don't have to have 2 inches. You can have less, you can have more. That's just for this closure. So it all depends how much closure you want for your envelope. And that's for that one. So I hope that was easy enough to follow, but I'll do another one again with you and using the clear sheet, because I'm not going to use a liquid glue. I have to use double-sided tape for this one because the liquid glue won't seal it properly. So with the clear seal sheet, you're going to, so I'm just going to, I've got this piece of black cardstock which is going to be a template. So I'm going to do this one without the scoreboard if you don't have the scoreboard. So I've cut this piece of sheet to the same size as this one, and I cut the clear sheet at 4 inches. Sorry, it's 4.5 inches by 4 inches. Let me just double check. Yeah. All right, so it's 4.5 inches by 4 inches. I added an extra 1 inch for my cardstock. So I've cut my paper at 5.5 inches, and the height was 4 inches. So I added an extra 2 inches. So the height is 6 inches. So I've cut the paper at 5 inches by 6 inches. So that's for that. And then I cut out a template using a more heavier duty cardstock or chipboard if you like, and you want to cut that to whatever size your window is going to be. So I've cut that out, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place this to the side. This is my template. I'm going to place it onto my piece of paper. Turn it this way. So I'm going to allow a 1/2 inch on each side and 1/2 inch on the bottom. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it to where I think 1/2 inch is. So that's what I'm going to do there. I'm going to grab one side. I'm going to fold this up in line with the template. And then I'm going to fold that over. I took my little boy for his early morning walk this morning, so I think he's a little bit tired now. And then after I do this video, he'll wake up and he'll probably be hungry. So I'm going to place that right against the fold line now. Let me turn this over this way to make it easy. I'm going to do the same, just lining that up. Because I like my crafters to be able to make some of these projects. Even if you don't have some of the tools, I do try to make projects so that everyone can make them, even if you don't have all the tools. And so now I'm going to bring that back in. I'm just going to open that up and just sort of slide that down to where I think 1/2 inch is at the bottom. You could also mark it with a pen if you want to, or a pencil if you want it more accurate. So now I've done my 3 sides. I'm just going to place this back inside and place that on the bottom. Now this is the part for the closure. I'm just going to roughly decide where I want that. As long as I allow a little bit of room above the edge of the window, I'm just going to go about there. And I'm going to bring it down. So that's how far I've got my window. So that's that. And now I'm just going to do the same thing and cut out those little corners. So I'll cut out these 4 little corners first, the little squares. So that part's done. I'm going to turn this around this way and do the same and remove these little lengths. So we've got all of that done. I'm just going to grab my double-sided tape, and I'm using that 1/4 of an inch size. So again, I'm going to just place it just below the tab, about there. Because if I go all the way to the top, it will stick it down onto the envelope, and we don't want that. So I'll just quickly place these. This is the last one. And then we're going to grab the clear window sheet for the window. Just put it up here so I can see. So that's going to go on the top here. We're going to grab this piece, and then we're just going to trim it down just a little, like we've done with the tracing paper, about 1/8 of an inch. In actual fact, I've already trimmed this one before, but just to show you. So that's going to get placed there. So we're going to remove now the double-sided tape on all the sides. Turn this around. We're going to place that as close we can to the score lines, just not on it. Now we're going to bring one side over. Oh, I made a mistake with this one. Let me just remove a little bit of this one out. I forgot not to. I went a little too high with the double-sided tape. Sorry about that. Let me just take that out. Because remember when I said you needed to leave it down a little bit? I forgot to do it to this side. So that's fine. So I'm going to place that back in there now. Close this up. And then we'll do the same to the other side, just holding that down so it doesn't come up. And then we can close the bottom. That was the reason why we didn't want to add the double-sided tape to the top, because it'll end up sticking that down. So just that was the reason why we had to do that. So there is my larger envelope. Now with this part, with the closure, I'm not going to use the corner rounder punch. I'm going to angle cut it just like I have here. So what I've done with that, I'm just going to cut it at an angle on one side, just a little bit. And then I'm going to grab this piece and use that as a template. And then place it on the other side. So that way they're both the same size as best I can. And then just cut that out. And then that gives me my envelope closure. So you can see this is a little bit longer, which is fine. You can just trim it down if you wanted to. You could leave it that size. You could even not have that if you don't want to and just have it as a pocket like that without a closure. So there are lots of different ways you can do this part here. So that is this size. And then this is the vellum or tracing paper size. So I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial making your own window envelopes. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it wasn't too confusing for you. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.